Since the late 1990s in Latin America, as well as globally, the extraction of natural resources has intensified. In the region, large-scale mining has caused countless socio-environmental conflicts, and it is one of the extractive industries that results in major human rights violations. The companies that extract minerals at large scale usually go into operation without any kind of consultation with the local populations, or they use pseudo-consultations that fail to offer clear or complete information about mining projects. In Central America and Mexico, where there are multiple forms of violence, systemic corruption, and gray areas between legality and illegality, the opposition of local populations to extractive mining has intensified the violation of basic human rights. In this context, the affected populations, with the support of social organizations, NGOs, and human rights lawyers, have sought to juridify their struggles in different legal and political spheres and levels. In this video, we explain the idea of juridification and why it is important for people and populations that are immersed in conflicts around mining in Central America and Mexico, as well as in other Latin American countries. When we speak of juridification, we refer to political legal mobilization processes. In these processes, the language, forms, and mechanisms of formal laws are used to advance political struggles. For example, going to different types of courts or official human rights institutions to file a complaint, or appealing to a municipal code to organize a consultation and declare territories mining-free. It also refers to political legal mobilization processes that replicate or take elements of formal law without necessarily pursuing these through state or international institutions. For example, a citizen tribunal to address a specific issue, such as violations of the right to health or to water. Another way that indigenous peoples have juridified their struggles is through strategically juxtaposing different forms of law, such as official law and the customary law of indigenous peoples. When organized, civil society actors pursue juridification. This is usually through the struggle for the defense of individual, social, and collective human rights, such as the right to a safe and healthy environment, the right to water, the right to life, and the right to territory. In a juridification process, the dispute centers on whether local communities, including indigenous and Afro-descendant peoples, can continue with their way of life and enjoy and protect the natural resources on their territories or lands in the face of environmental and social devastation caused by extractive projects. Also in dispute are different ways of understanding human rights, including different ontologies or world perspectives, other knowledges, and other moral values. In juridification processes, the sovereignty and governance of states over water and mineral resources are questioned, as are models of development based on extraction of these resources. Many times, people and communities who defend their territories and resources face violence and harassment by state agents and companies. Defenders are criminalized, threatened, and killed. Diverse communities, lawyers, and civil society organizations have resorted to national and local courts to defend their rights, as well as appealing to international mechanisms like the Inter-American System of Human Rights and the United Nations. Defense strategies also take place at the regional and community level. Juridification is therefore an inter-scalar phenomenon, characterized by movement between different levels and types of law and politics, involving a constant circulation of actions and concepts. The people involved in a juridification process can move between levels and types of law simultaneously or at different times. This depends on the context and specificity of each social struggle. So we are facing examples of juridification when peoples dispute extractivism in the courts through official law or through the use of the community's customary law and practices, at the same time as incorporating legal vocabulary and arguments within their political struggles. Networks and alliances between local populations, local, national, and international NGOs, and lawyers and other legal system actors are a central part of the phenomenon of juridification. Processes of juridification can affect the institutionality of the state in judicial, administrative, and legislative fields, resulting in novel legal judgments, reforms to procedures, or new laws. We also see examples of the effects of juridification at the international level. For example, with novel resolutions in the inter-American human rights system or new international conventions and agreements that try to regulate extractive activities. Despite the positive effects of legalization, governments often do not respect court rulings and continue to promote extractive projects. Analyzing juridification processes takes us beyond a focus on formal law. It reveals the multiple forms of violence involved in the extractive model that affect local communities and defenders of territory. But it also reveals the great creativity and tenacity of indigenous peoples as well as peasants and Afro-descendants to preserve their territories and ways of life, along with the interlegal and cross-border processes to which they turn in their struggles.